Increíble, increíble.
Olá a todos. Agora já sim. Olá a todos, sejam muito bem-vindos e chegou a hora da nossa Masterclass, onde vamos ter a oportunidade de ver a nova proposta da nova tendência de L'Oréal Profesional.
Totalmente. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos a todos. Nueva temporada, nueva propuesta French Balayage. Y hablando de esta palabra, hablando del balayage, evidentemente se ha convertido en algo más que una técnica. Se ha convertido en una saga. Evidentemente es algo que nos acompaña ya desde hace mucho tiempo. Ya desde los años 70 comenzó este concepto de realizar esta técnica de balayage. Pero es cierto, es en 2018 cuando L'Oréal Professionnel, digamos que ampara aún a todo este concepto sobre y crea, ¿no?, el concepto French Balayage, en el cual básicamente se centra en cómo crear estos puntos de luz de forma estratégica, de forma fácil y realmente con un sentido y algo que podamos crear en el salón de forma sencilla.
Claro, Fran. Contudo, French Balayage não é um serviço apenas de passo. E em 2019 demos então um avanço na personalização graças a Dialight. Dialight e brilho. Brilho, nesta altura, era a palavra top da tendência no ano que conseguimos ver aqui. E sabemos todos que Dialight e brilho andam sempre de mãos dadas.
Es cierto, Sandra. Y tradicionalmente, cuando hablamos de balayage, ¿no?, pues nos hacemos a la idea y lo unimos mentalmente de que balayage es para rubias.
No, Fran.
Ah, ¿no? ¿No, Sandra?
No.
Bueno, sí, es cierto. Lo veíamos en 2020, ¿no? Y en 2020 lanzábamos French Balayage for All. Nuevas técnicas, nuevos tonos, como los .28, los 01, en alturas 6 y 7, en el cual habría un nuevo abanico realmente de posibilidades para las mujeres con el cabello de color más castaño. Y claro, esto también nos abría nuevas posibilidades de negocio dentro de los salones de peluquería.
Sem dúvida. E nós todos que estamos aqui sabemos que quando se trata de aclaramento nunca nada é suficiente. E em 2021, eis que é lançado o descolorante que tanto esperávamos, a descoloração 9 tons para nos garantir mais rapidez no aclaramento, muito mais aclaramento, mas em especial podemos trabalhar bases que fossem e que são mais escuras, que nos dão sempre alguma dificuldade. E surge então em duas versões, a versão normal e a versão com uma proteção através de Bonner Inside.
Pues llegamos a 2022. Estos 4 años realmente son un momento crucial para esta técnica French Balayage, para este concepto, en el cual pues vimos que aquí teníamos un punto de evolución muy potente, porque era en el momento en el que esta parte de la personalización a través de la tonalización pues tomaba realmente mucho dominio sobre el resultado final. Recordaremos seguramente esta parte de tendencia, ¿no?, en la cual era French Balayage Shadow, en el cual sombreábamos ese concepto en las raíces para dar todo el protagonismo a los medios y puntas. Y claro, aquí digamos que ha sido también un punto de inflexión en el cual sabemos que French Balayage son 2 pasos y que realmente uno no puede vivir sin el otro.
Mas bom, Fran, agora já conseguimos também rever um bocadinho da história daquilo que foi French Balayage desde 2018, mas hoje temos uma nova tendência, Fran?
Pues sí, efectivamente es que estamos viendo cómo esta parte de las perlas realmente están invadiendo lo que son las pasarelas de moda. Lo hemos estado viendo ya desde 2021, cómo se convertía en un complemento, ¿no?, de estos diseños dentro de la moda, dentro de las pasarelas de grandes diseñadores. Y sabemos que al final toda esta parte de tendencias acaba trasladándose a la parte del cabello. De hecho, evidentemente estamos viendo cómo se incrementan estas búsquedas, por ejemplo, en Google, y cómo la parte de menciones en redes sociales realmente crece cada vez más este concepto perlado aliado, ¿no?, al mundo del cabello o este pearl blonde.
Sem dúvida, bastante interessante. E então esta nova tendência traz-nos a fusão perfeita de todas as técnicas de French balayage aos novos tons, tendo assim a oportunidade de abrir uma nova era, potenciando essencialmente a luminosidade de todos os cabelos das nossas consumidoras nos salões.
Así que tenemos una carta de presentación increíble. Sabemos, French balayage es nuestra técnica en 2 pasos, creando aclarados difuminados, sin cortes de color y, por supuesto, perfectamente neutralizados. Pero, en este caso, vamos a mantener nuestro gusto por los tonos fríos, aportando este efecto perlado al cabello, buscando esa perfecta neutralización y máxima tendencia.
Então, esta nova tendência traz-nos grande foco, que é, sem dúvida alguma, na zona frontal, o que, na realidade, tem muito mais impacto e é muito mais visual para a nossa consumidora. Com um conceito que aquilo que chamamos de duplo face framing, que vamos ter a oportunidade de ver mais à frente pelas mãos de HARRIET STOKES. Claramente, e quando falamos de aclaramento, nós queremos ter sempre respostas assertivas e, como conseguimos ver, toda a plataforma Blonde Studio traz-nos produtos que se adaptam a qualquer técnica de qualquer profissional, mas também às necessidades e desejos das nossas clientes.
Y claro, al final, evidentemente, esta increíble, ¿no? Fuerza a nivel de aclarado con Blonde Studio se merece la mejor personalización. Y aquí, evidentemente, ocurre gracias a Dialight, en el cual nos va a aportar todo este concepto de neutralización ideal para este tipo de trabajos. Y aquí, además de una paleta súper amplia a nivel de tonos, juega un papel fundamental la parte de la textura. Esta textura gel-crema que nos hace ideal poder utilizarla con pincel para combinar, como veíamos, con el efecto de shadow, melting, ¿no? O stretch rouge, poder combinar diferentes tonalidades en raíz, en medios o en puntas. O también esta textura es ideal para trabajarla con biberón en estos 5 a 20 minutos, en el cual vamos a conseguir una aplicación súper rápida.
Verdade verdadeira. E, sem dúvida alguma, temos uma super ferramenta que é Dialight. E agora, com a inclusão de 5 novos tons, onde a fusão e a visibilidade deste tom perolado tem um efeito bastante marcado. Como podemos ver ali, um deles é o ponto 82, onde há uma fusão perfeita do tom mocha com o tom violeta.
Pues sí, tenemos una nueva familia de tonalidades, como nos dice Sandra, con el punto 82, pero también tenemos nuevas incorporaciones en nuevas alturas del punto 18. Aquí, desde un punto de partida algo más beige, conseguimos estos efectos perlados, pero siempre con un toque algo ceniza. Y claro, tenemos 5 nuevos tonos en el cual podemos utilizar solos o en combinación con otros tonos de Dialight y también, por supuesto, con la parte de los boosters, como puede ser el rojo o el violeta, para generar ese giro tan interesante hacia el rosa.
Bom, sem dúvida alguma, Freia, eu penso que já fornecemos toda a informação sobre esta grande nova tendência French balayage pearls. ¿Sí?
Pues sí, Sandra, yo creo que hemos dado un buen contexto y para nosotros realmente pues es un placer poderos dar paso, poderos presentar y haber preparado esta masterclass con la Global Artist que ha creado estas técnicas, que ha generado toda la parte de los visuales también. Así que, por nuestra parte, nada más y desearos que disfrutéis de esta masterclass de HARRIET Stokes.
Obrigada!
Bonjour! Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I am so excited to be here today with you all. Are you all having the best time? I need some more energy. Are you all having the best time? Amazing! Now that sounds like what I could hear last night until 5 a.m. when you were all partying and having fun, and I was being boring in bed. But I hope you had a lovely evening, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today and with L'Oréal Professionnel. Now, I specialize in all things balayage, and my passion is education. So in the next hour, what I'm going to be doing is sharing all of my go-to tips and top things that you can take away back into the salon. Does that sound good? Fantastic. We love good energy. Now, 7 years ago, I moved to London as a 20-year-old. I was color shy, and I was so unconfident in what I was doing. I ended up being a cutting specialist, which only lasted for 2 months before I realized that I actually missed color. I went to work somewhere that took me so far out of my comfort zone in order to learn everything I could about color and to push myself. I cried every day for 6 months, but it's the reason that I'm stood here today, because I had really good education. And I'm so passionate about passing that on from what I've learned and continue to learn. So that's what today is about, and I cannot wait to jump in and show you. We're going to begin with our first dolly head that's going to come out, and this is all about French balayage pearls and French balayage. In the last year of being a global artist for L'Oréal Professionnel, I've had the privilege to work alongside the team to launch the new balayage highlights and keys. Sorry, balayage and, highlight keys, thank you. And to work alongside the launch of the new pearl shades, which we'll be showing all of you today. All right, I'm going to bring out Manuel as well, my gorgeous assistant, and we're going to get our color on stage. Big round of applause. I love it. I feel like everybody knows you in here, babe. Yeah. I'm with a celebrity. I love this. Now, we only met yesterday, but we're new best friends. Yeah, aren't we? Yeah. Yesterday, this gorgeous boy got me through a very long prep day, and we have some amazing models to share with you. But before we show you the models that are done, I'm going to start by showing you the application, okay? Alrighty, so we're going to begin. Now, this is the French balayage technique. Now, you're probably thinking, French balayage. Why French balayage and not just balayage? Balayage originates from Paris. In the 70s, it was the first time that balayage came around. It's soft, it's natural, and it's sun-kissed. And it's one of my favorite techniques. But this technique can be a little bit tricky to get your head around, and sometimes frustrating when you can't get the lift that you're looking for. Has anybody experienced that before? Exactly. It's always when I teach, the first thing that people say is, the lift, but we're going to show you that today. Before I begin, we're going to start by using our metal detox, and this is going to go onto the hair and help remove any metal buildups from water. Thank you. So 2 little sprays, and we're done. Lovely, thank you, gorgeous. Alrighty, so as you can see on the screen, we have our products on the right-hand side. Now, the products that I'm using today are the L'Oréal Professionnel Blonde Studio 7. This is my favorite go-to lightener, and this lightener is specifically for freehand painting. I'm doing the wrong bit. Perfect. We're starting here. So the reason that I love this product is the consistency. So I haven't checked this, but I'm going to do something a bit risky. Okay, it stays in. So that's the consistency that we're looking for with this product, okay? So this is a clay lightener. The consistency is nice and thick. We want it to stay on your brush and be really moldable and workable. This product is going to dry on the outside and stay wet on the inside. Now, if you press next for me on that little clicker, babe. Thank you kindly. So you can see here the sectioning that we're going to be working with. I think I have a rogue doll head. Mercy. Alrighty, okay. So as you can see, we have on this side the double, and on this side we have the triple. And what the difference is between these is how high that blonde is going to go in the hair, and the points where the ribbons of color will be. I'm going to start by taking my section with a triangle, okay? You can see where we've placed the color in here underneath, and we're going to place this on top. The reason that I'm sectioning everything into a triangular shape is that we're going to be painting on the surface. This will create a really soft, natural look. The depth in here, we need this to stay dark so that the blonde on the surface can pop and stand out. Then we're going to color the ends. Is everybody with me? Fantastic. All right. So we're going to begin. I'm going to make sure that we can see on this camera. Which camera am I looking at? Ah, that's better. Perfect. Let's do a bit of that. I don't treat my clients like this. Just my dolls. All right. Okay. So we're going to take our product. Now, we're going to be purposeful with everything that we do today. My course that I teach for L'Oreal is called Painting with Purpose, and there's a reason we do everything. So we're going to break that down. Nice, tight tension. You're going to take your product. Can you hold that bowl for me, babe? Merci. Okay. All right, and we're going to start by loading it onto the edge of this section. Now, we're starting in the mid-area first so that we can distribute that product, then work our way up towards that root with less product. Once we're happy with that, we're going to take our tension and re-hold that section. We're going to take our elbow to the ceiling, and we're going to come from above, and we're going to paint the exact same thing again. So you'll start to see this build up. Now, every time I'm painting on this hair, I'm coming down in a downward motion. So we paint down. At no point at all today am I going to be going up the hair. We're always coming down with the flow, and this way you'll always be in control. Okay. So what we're looking to do here is create some really nice shapes. If we want to keep this nice and soft and delicate, then we need to accentuate the root that we leave inside the middle. Merci. Okay, and we're going to keep layering this product up. It's super important that we think about where this is. Now, one key thing that I like to say to my students is where it will be whiter, it will be lighter. So if you're looking for lift, hold that bowl, babe. If you're looking for lift, then we're looking, yes, please. Then we're looking for lots of whiteness in the area that you need it. So for me, the most important thing is your ribbons down the side and on your ends, okay? Now, I've been holding this for quite a while, and we need to make sure that underneath looks okay as well. So if we can see that on the camera, awesome. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our hand flat, like a board, and we're going to give that a little rub. Every time we touch this hair, little rub. And if we want the ends to pop, then we're going to be taking that product and pushing it through to those ends, okay? So little rub, check, happy, and then we can lay that down. Okay, and we're going to take Mercy, a nice wet towel to help remove the product off our hands. And then we're going to move on to this front area. Okay, thank you, darling. So, face frames, who loves them? Yeah? A few raised hands? Fantastic. Who finds them a bit of a pain? Sometimes? Yes, I like your honesty, thank you. All right, so we're going to clip this out of the way. So my go-to way to tackle a face frame is to always split at the recession back, okay? Clip this out of the way, ignore it for now. We're then going to take this hair down the side and go from the recession to the ear. And this will be our first section. Now, we're going to take nice tight tension. This is the exciting bit, but also the scary bit. So with that tension, we're then going to take our paint and we're going to paint this onto the hair. Now this is what clients see, okay? So we need to be thinking about how this color is going to grow out, how they're wanting it to look when they wear their hair back, and also how it will look when they wear their hair down. Thank you, Manuel. Okay, so you can see that I'm coming in and doing my traditional double point, working that product. But what we can do here is really ice this surface. and we can create different points of areas where we'll have more definition. So if a client wants a softer result, we need to have depth left in here. Okay. Alrighty, how's she looking? Oh, she looks fun. All right, so we just need to keep layering this up, nice and iced, like a wedding cake. Do you have iced wedding cakes here? You do, perfect. You never know, every country's different. You do, okay. All right, so we're going to give that a nice little smooth over. Now, you'll notice that I'm using my hands to smooth. At never at any point am I pushing it through the hair. I'm gliding it, so you can see all behind is still dark, okay? So we're just using that to smooth the surface. So there's no bobbly bits of color that will then bleed onto other things. We're then going to go down into the bowl, and we're going to take a bit of color through this area here. So this looks more like a triple at this point, which is nice. And we can soften it. Soft, 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 soft. Gorgeous. Okay. If you wanted a much heavier, bolder look, you can paint all the way to the surface through here. But this client today, Sally, she wants to feel a bit natural and a bit delicate, okay? So if she wore that back, we'd have some depth in there to keep that nice and gentle. We're then going to take this section with nice tension, and we're going to pull it forward. I'm just going to see where this camera is. Okay, we're here. Alrighty, so, and I'm not going to fall off this stage. Somebody please catch me if I fall. Honestly, it's my biggest fear. But we're then going to paint up this side. Now, we didn't do this round the back because we were painting from above and the hair would lay that way. But because the hair will go back in a ponytail and it will lay down when it's blow dried, we need to make sure both sides are beautiful. Okay, all right, so everything visually pleasing in this area. Soft, soft, soft. Always really good tension. See how I'm constantly pulling this section where I want it to be. Cotton wool, thank you. Then we're going to take our cotton and we're going to hook that underneath and let that sit down. Okay, that's our first section. I'm then going to take a towel to just wipe my hands to make sure every time I touch my client's hair, it's nice and clean. Lovely, mercy. Alrighty, so next section directly behind. You can do that twice, and it will be still nice and soft, or you can just work straight into the next section. If you wanted a much bolder face frame, we would do the exact same thing right behind and lay it on top. But today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go into my next section. Again, a nice triangular section, okay? Nice tight tension. We're going to take this product that is not loving me, and then we're going to, again, paint towards the face. Now, when it comes towards this side, you've got a couple of options. You can do your double, like we did at the back, or you can do more of a directional paint, which is where we're painting directly towards the face to make that face frame nice and strong. And we're coming back on a diagonal, working with the depth behind it to accentuate the blonde. Alrighty. Okay, so you can see that I've just been surface painting here. If I was to lift this section up, we're still nice and dark underneath. This will be a super natural result. If you're looking for some more kind of pop in the color, then this is where we can take our hands and use this as a board, but working it into the hair. Now, you might be thinking, why am I not using a balayage board? The reason that I'm not using a balayage board is because I prefer to be able to blend with my hand underneath and avoid using a board that could potentially put a line in the color. Alrighty. And we'll pop that one down. Mercy. Okay, so onto the face frame around the front. We're going to section this off in here. Now, again, this can be quite a scary bit. It's what the client is looking at. They can see it in the mirror, and they're judging your every move. So we need to make sure that we're feeling confident with this as well. I'm going to come from the other angle with this one, just so I can see it. Let's see that camera. Where's the camera? There it is. Okay, so again, nice tight tension. I'm going to use this screen as a bit of a mirror. Okay, so again, nice tight tension. Working on your kind of saturation. Nice bit of products on there. Now, the common thing that I see when I educate is not enough product. And this is where you don't get the lift that you're looking for. Okay, so it's super important that we get the lift and the brightness around the front. Okay, I'm going to take this one further down so you can see the difference between what I did around this one and what I'm doing around this face frame. Okay, so nice and gentle. Making sure that you are even from root to tip with how white it is. From here to the ends, we want it to be really iced like a cake. And through the root area, it needs to be a little bit softer. If I was then to pull this down, you can see we've still got all that depth behind. I'm then going to change my direction. Mercy. Nice tight tension. And now this is what they're going to see. This is the money piece that we need to make pop. So we're going to take our brush and we're going to load that product right up around the front. So for me in the salon, this technique, I would give myself 1 hour for a full head. I like to offer my clients a tiered system where they can come in for the full thing, a half a head, or they can come in for a face frame refresh. For me, this service includes a toner because it's important that this is a two-step process. You're lightening with your Blonde Studio products, and then you're coming in and you're using your Dear Light as your toner. Alrighty, okay, so we're then going to take this and pop that again underneath. You need to make sure that you're not all in your client's face. So if it takes a couple in there to just layer it up, then you can just let that sit. What do we think of that face frame so far? We like it? Ah. Merci. We love the good energy. Thank you. Alrighty, so from here, we then need to think about the placement of everything that you're doing. Like I was saying at the start, you need to leave depth inside your color. So by doing the triangles that we take, it's going to twist. By taking our triangles, you can see that we're leaving hair out. This will keep it natural, it will keep it soft. But then we can come through and we can just have a little look through the bits on the ends to see if we need to add any details. Now that's the beauty of freehand balayage. Okay, all right, so we've got that one in. As you can see it sitting here, where you can see the depth around the face frame, you need to make sure that you pick up little pieces here and just color through to the ends to make sure it all matches up. Okay, all right, I'm happy with that. And then the final piece would be how we've finished the opposite side as well. So this side that you can see here on the camera is exactly how you'd finish the other side, but you wouldn't be matching these to be identical because they're not twins, they're sisters, and it needs to be a little bit soft. Alrighty, so I am going to let Manuel take this doll away, my key points here for freehand would be that if you're wanting to be super blonde and light, then it's a base 7 and above to get a clean result like this. A base 6 and below, of course you can go blonde, but it will be slightly warmer. And we need to manage our expectations as the colorist to then manage our clients. Okay, so I'm going to bring out some models in a second. Manuel, thank you very much. I will see you soon. Merci, babe. Hello. Alrighty, so this is Misha. Hi, Misha. Alrighty, so now with Misha's hair, we have done a big change. I'm going to see if somebody can run me a brush, Manuel, just so we can really talk through what we've got going on here. Merci, thank you very much. We're good, merci. All right, so with Misha's hair, when she came to see me yesterday, as soon as she walked in, I was like, I need her. We need to work with her. And I love light bases. I know you may not have lots of light bases here, but I thought it'd be interesting to show you how we can get more contrast when we do have light bases. For example, my face frame will not stand out unless I have slices around the front to really give the contrast of the color. Same thing with Misha. What we actually did was we left her natural hair underneath and we focused on creating more of a pop around her face using the Blonde Studio 7, leaving depth under here to make sure that she can have a bit of contrast. Now, if the lighting, okay, the lighting is very warm. We're not that warm in real life, but I will be posting this on social media later where you can really see that tone in there. Now, when Misha came to me, she had a lot of natural lightness from the sun, as you all get here. So through this area, we took through some Dear Light 9. So it's a base 9, it's acidic, it just went through and it just softened all that natural lightness to help give the contrast around the front. We've come through then with our toners, which we use the new Pearl range, and we use the new 1082, which you can see on my right-hand side over here. This toner is all about creating a real soft, champagne-y tone and a really beautiful, delicate result. All right, I'm going to leave Misha to just give us one little walk, and I'll be back in 1 second. Merci.
Is this anything you want? Is this anything you need? Is this anything you feel? My love and my fear. Is this anything you stand for? Anything you want? My love and my fear. Stay forever hand in hand.
Love that. I love your energy so much. Thank you. All right, we're going to bring out one more model, but I forgot to mention, with that toner, I used clear because she's so blonde, we didn't want to overpower her with too much tone, okay? So it's important to utilize your clear in your range. We're going to bring out our next gorgeous girl. Alrighty, hey babe, you okay? Perfect, alrighty. So you can see here, we've gone for a slightly different vibe. We're using freehand still, but on a dark base, okay? I wanted to show you the blonde and the dark to see the contrast of what you can do. We use the Blonde Studio 7 with 40 volume, really getting that nice consistency to get the lift that we're looking for. When you're using 40 volume open air, it's going to be a bit softer and be a little bit more like 30 volume. With my model today, you can see that she has this really gorgeous kind of like textured little cut. So the face framing wasn't done the same as what we just did on our model. It was all about visually picking pieces up and placing the color to mimic where it falls and where it kind of bends around the face. Now the toner here is really important because we use the new Pearls 818, which is 8 Ash Mocha for anyone that doesn't use L'Oreal. And then we use the tiny little bit of Red Booster. Now when I say a tiny bit, I mean a little pea size. Does everybody know like the peas that you eat? Yes? So this is how I always teach it, because your pea size is the same as my pea size if you think about the food. So 3 peas in this mixture, just to give a soft little minky pop of pink to go alongside that pearl. I'm going to leave my model to give you a beautiful little walk, and I'll be back again in a second. Merci. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention about that gorgeous girl is that underneath we kept some depth in there because she has short hair. When it comes to balayage, I think we're quick to thinking we need to put lots of pieces in. But the secret to balayage is knowing where to place the color that you're doing to help give it the impact that you're looking for. Now, as you can see, we have the gorgeous Manuel back. And we also have, loves a round of applause. So cute, so cute. All right, so this technique is one of my favorites. This is all about creating high impactful color that will have a soft grow out, a soft blend, and give your client longevity. It's our job as colorists to create colors that our clients fall in love with and they keep coming back for more. But with the way that the world is now, we need to be making sure that what we're doing works for our clients' lifestyle and their budget. So this is why lived-in colors have become such a big trend. Again, just coming through with my Metal Detox, just spray this on, and then in the salon, I'd be using then my shampoo and conditioner to help go alongside this. Now, the important thing here that I need to talk to you about is what I'm using. So today, I'm using the Blonde Studio 9 with 20 volume. It's the highest lifting bleach that L'Oreal Professional has, and this is really going to help us get that lift that we're looking for. Okay, so we've already started this head. The key points here is that we've done half a head application again. To help create contrast around the front, you need to have depth somewhere. So if we're leaving depth underneath, then that helps to pop that color, which you'll see in just a minute on my finished models. The face frame is what I've chose to show you today, as this is the most important part. And it's also something that I think can be quite hard to get perfect. Has anyone ever experienced you've done maybe one foil too much, or you've done one foil too little? That can be really hard to navigate. So hopefully with what I show you today, you can get back into the salon, all excited to take on these face frames. All right, so same sectioning as before, at the recession back, the recession down, this is our first section. I'm just making sure the camera can see me. Yep, perfect. We're going to take some really soft baby lights through here. Now, this doll head does have a really chunky face frame. A chunky hairline. But we're just going to work with it. I'm then going to take my board and foil. Does anybody use a board at the moment? Yes? Okay. We're going to change that today. Everyone's going to be going out to buy a board. This is going to help you to have control and precision over all your colors. I'm going to take 4 fingers behind the board. We're going to pop the board in, secure our hair onto the board. Mercy. And then we're going to take our product and we're going to softly secure it to the foil. Can we see that? Yes, we can. And then once we're happy with the placement of how secure this is, we're then going to take our brush onto a slight angle and soften towards the root. Okay, we want to make sure this blend is nice and delicate, it's nice and soft, and we want to make sure we have high impact down here, so we need to make sure that we're layering this product up, really layering it up. I do think we might need some more product though. If somebody from the team can please get me some. Mercy. Okay, so you can see we've folded that up twice. We're going to secure that on the side. Then we're going to take a clip that's nice and straight like this, and we're then going to secure that into the hair. Okay, did everyone see that? Perfect. We're then going to take this hair and we're going to do something with this. This is what I like to call tipping out, and this is where we're going to introduce a back comb. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, all the way up. Big push. We take our board and our foil, and this is where we're going to then have lightness through the ends. We need to think about where this sits and how high up and how impactful you want this to be. We're going to paint on a slight angle to help create the softness that we're looking for, and really saturating through to those ends. Okay. Now, the reason that I'm using foils is because we're almost essentially highlighting. We're going to get the saturation that we need in order to get the lift that I'm looking for. The other technique was all about delicate placement that's going to be really soft and natural, but this is about getting lift. This dark hair here is what is going to keep that natural, okay? From here, we go straight to the section behind. So in the UK, we call this a back-to-back placement, which is no hair left out really between. But what I'm not going to do, when I'm picking my highlights up, I'm not doing this, okay? All right, we're going to take our section and our comb towards the root, and we're going to pick up uneven little bits so that we have more of a slice left out. We're then going to secure this in. I feel like my doll head might go off this stage before I do. Thank you. Mercy. Okay, all right, so we're securing that in. So you can see on the screens next to me, there is a head sheet. I'm going to walk you through this, but this is my go-to placement for all my face frames. This is all about where you leave the depth in between, and it's all about how much lightness you take through those ends as well, okay? Securing this in, nice and gentle. We don't want to put too much pressure on that foil so it doesn't seep out. Then again, we take the hair in between. You have 2 options here. If you want high impact, you need to slice all of this and take all of that into a foil. If you want to have a more softer yet impactful color, then you could do a tiny little weave and tip out these ends. Today, on my models, I've done slices. So I'm going to show you this result in just a second. Now, the key thing with this is always thinking about where this is going to sit, remembering how high that you took it up on the previous section, and also thinking about where that blend is starting and ending as well. Around the back, we need this to be lower down, just to create a bit of like gentleness in the color through the ends, but around the front is that impact. Okay, so we've done two things exactly the same. Now we're going to change that section very, very slightly. We're going to pivot from the point that we were working on and slightly back above the ear, so we have more hair being encouraged into this face frame. Okay, so more natural. Just going to close that. Okay, within this area, we're going to do the same thing with our weave. We're going to come in and just bounce at that root. On the face frame, my weaves were softer and more delicate. As we worked back, you can see here, it's got a little bit wider. This will help bring a bit more texture into the color, while still leaving it nice and soft and nice and gentle. Nice and gentle? Sorry. Nice and impactful. Okay, so again, layering all these ends up. We want to make sure that we've got all of that covered. We want to make sure we're happy with the blend and the connection point at the top. What I don't want to see here is any harsh lines straight onto that root area. Okay, we're going to secure that in. Now when I lift up this section behind, you can see there's a lot more hair in here. We need to be really careful that it's not too much, because if it's too much, then the ends where you tip out could end up being a bit heavy and have a bit of a line. Okay, to avoid that, we really need to make sure we're doing a good back comb, getting that hair up and out of the way. Fantastic. If the hair is too thick in this section, we can't come back and tone like in the middle because it will be so blended. So that's my top tip here, is have a really fine section that isn't going to cause you any drama. The last thing I would say is you could, in this area, use a higher peroxide, okay? So if we think about this for a second as colorists, we know that when we use foil that's closer to the head, it's going to heat up quicker. This foil in here will heat up quicker than where this is further away from the head. So that means this will be a bit warmer if the hair's been stubborn. So you could use a slightly higher peroxide in that area. This hair that's going to sit directly on top, I'm not going to do too much lightening here. This is really important to have depth in the area behind where the face frame is to make sure it stands out. But what we need to have is a little bit of something through the ends, okay? So we just simply go through and take some little tiny, 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 very, very tiny little weave. And we tip this out as well. Notice how on this section here, I'm going to direct this towards the front and always looking at where this tip out will sit alongside everything else. And we take it a little bit lower than what we did around the face. This will just help to connect the back of the color into the front without over lightening. Has anybody ever experienced a client's balayage? You're doing it and you think, this is going to be beautiful. And you wash it off and it's just very, very blonde. And you think, where's it gone? Has anyone ever experienced that? I can see some nodding. Yes. So it can be really hard. And I think when you've been a colorist that was trained in how to highlight, and highlights was your thing that you did day in, day out, to move over to balayage can be hard when you're trying to give the client their money's worth. I know that before I was doing a lot of balayage, I was putting in as many highlights as I could to get my clients as blonde as I could, because that's what they want, right? So when it comes to balayage, it can be hard to switch over from highlights to balayage and to not put too much in, okay? So this is the kind of secret I want you to take away today, is thinking about how much hair you can leave out to help give that impact, but then also around the front, like we are now, painting with purpose to help create that soft result. Okay, so same thing. It's the same sectioning as I did before, from the parting into the recession. Clip it out the way. We're going to take our ends and we're going to tip this out. Again, taking your comb. One thing I will say about your back combing is that if you start your back comb down here and you push all the way up, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be darker, okay? So when you take this back comb out, then all that hair that you back combed will come through to the ends, and you'll never have the impact that you're looking for. So the top tip with back combing is nice tight tension, your brush on a slight angle, and go from the middle. Soft, 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 and then push. That's it. Awesome. And then we're going to take our board again. Can everyone see this? Yes. Alrighty. So if we're thinking about where this is going to sit, I'm going to use her eye as a reference, and also thinking about where the face frame tipping out is underneath. Always thinking about where you're placing everything. Mercy? Okay. Alrighty. Now, this technique is different to the French balayage because this is all about high lifting, and we're doing that with a kind of highlight result. So the toning, when it comes to this, will be different, which I can talk you through in just a second when my gorgeous girls come out. But it also affects the price of the service, okay? So the French balayage takes me 1 hour to apply, 50 minutes to process, and 10 minutes to tone while applying it with a 20-minute development. But that is one toner on at the sink. The way you paint on the hair is your blending. It's just one toner. But with this technique, it's about creating a shadow at the root. Now, I'm sure that you're all aware of the shadow with toning. I love that. Thank you. I got a big yes over there. But one thing that I think people struggle with sometimes is knowing what to charge to have that extra little shadow at the root. You know, if we think about it, it's more product, it's more time, and you could be doing something else. So we've got to build that into our pricing. What I've found worked for me in the UK is to have my toners built into my price of my service so that my clients can't question me or ask when if we need to add something on. So, for example, this service would be more than the French balayage because of the foil and the toning time. Now, another thing that people tend to ask me as well is all about, why are you calling this balayage if you're not painting on the hair like a freehand balayage? Now, this is a balayage look, okay? Balayage has evolved over the years. It started in the 70s. It was soft, it's delicate, it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's expensive looking. And as the trends have changed over time, so has the client's expectations. So if we think about it, let's go right back to 2012. I think it was a Prada autumn-winter fashion show, and they had models on the runway with really dark roots and really extreme light ends. And that was the birth of the dip dye, okay? This was seen from the streets by people at Prada. It was then taken as inspiration for the models. Typically, where they saw this was outside kind of uni halls where students were. They were dyeing their hair. They couldn't afford to get it redone. So that's why they had the harsh dip dye. Then we took that as professionals and changed that into the ombre. Everyone remember the ombre? Everyone coming in, they want their ends lightened. Okay, and that's evolved. Then that goes into more contrast, more kind of softer placement. And then again, that's evolved. In the last 2 years, has anyone noticed here that clients want to be blonder, brighter, ashier? Does that happen here? Yeah? So the same thing in the UK. So sometimes we need to adapt to that and evolve with our techniques to help get the results that we're looking for. So this is where we then bring foil into the mix. But by creating the highlights that I've just done here and the tipping out on the ends, it creates a light look from root to finish to the end with lots of depth in there to help create that balayage look, okay? And the last little tip out here. Now, like I said at the start, taking yourself out of your comfort zone is always good for growth. When it comes to learning new things, I always recommend getting models in. If you're nervous about trying new things on clients, get models in. Get people in, sit them down, chat to them. If you want to attract more things like balayage into the salon, then spend time doing some hair on models or friends or family. Get the content that you're looking for, and then utilize social media as a business tool. Is everybody on Instagram? Yeah? I think you are. So if you're using Instagram as a business tool, you're going to be attracting people to you, okay? But you need to think about what you're putting out. If you're putting out things that you don't want to have in your chair, then of course that's going to come to you because you're attracting it. If you start putting time into getting models and doing the colors, or your mate or whatever, doing the colors that you want and posting that consistently, you'll start attracting that clientele, okay? It's completely changed my business with social media, and it is so, so powerful. And that's how you're going to kind of be getting in that work that you're wanting to do. Now, with this look, you can see here with the face frame, we've worked from the parting to the recession. We've got our nice little bit of foil in there. Once you're happy with it, you can bend it out the way so your client can see. That's it. Which looks like a bit of a horse race. All right, okay. And then you're going to have a think about how much depth you leave behind in this area. I then worked on a diagonal section back, leaving more space between each foil to create more depth and natural feel in there. Tipping out only the little bits on the ends to really create that impact and to bring the whole color together. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out my next model to show you what this placement looks like, and then we can really kind of see that together. All right, Manuel, thank you very much. Merci. Oh, yes. Sorry. Drama. Gorgeous. Come and take a stand, babe. Alrighty, this is Alma. Babe, you look so good. All right, let's just change this screen slightly. Can we get the camera on Alma so we can see her, please? Yes, there we go. I'm just going to strip this off. It's very hot up here. Okay, all right. So with Alma, you can see this placement. What do we think of this placement? Nice? We like it? Got a little thumbs up? Lovely. So the most important thing here is to really, again, think about where that color is and what makes this work. You could see before how dark Alma was, I can't go back to it, but she was a base 5 virgin hair, very dark, very thick, very coarse hair. But this technique looks so natural on her. When it was blow dried straight, I had a little panic because it was so natural looking. As soon as you put a little bit of wave in there, you start to see the pockets of color, which is normal with balayage. But what I wanted to show you here with Alma is how impactful that placement can be with your face frame. And what really gives the contrast here is having the depth underneath, okay? Is not over highlighting the back, only having a little bit of tip out through these ends, and it allows this color to sit on top and to look really impactful. If we then pull her hair back and we look through here, this hasn't had any shadow at the root. This was just one toner from the root down. All the blending and the naturalness was done with that placement that I've just shown you. When it came to toning, we did the shadow root, which I was talking about just a second ago. So what's really important to get the longevity of our colors that we're looking for is to have the depth at the root, okay? So this whole technique throughout the back, I went through and backcombed. We don't need the blonde to go all the way up to the top like we did here. But to ensure that we get longevity of our color, we came through with Dear Light, a base 6, and we just gently popped that on the root area, avoiding all of the face frame around the front, because that didn't need any root put on there, okay? We leave that for about 5 minutes. Then we came through with our new pearls, and we used, as you can see over here on the left-hand side, we use 918 with 9 volume through the ends. I left it for the full 20 minutes, and for anyone that doesn't use L'Oreal, this is 9 Ash Mocha. And this is all about creating that soft pearl tone that's really delicate. It still gives her some warmth, but it's really controlled, and it's just a really, really beautiful kind of like champagne shade. All right, so I'm going to leave you to have a little walk around. I'm so pleased with her result. I hope you are too, and you can have a little look just now. Mercy?
She got married to a boy like you. She'd kick you out if she ever knew about all the you tell me that you do. Dirty, dirty boy. You know everyone is talking on the scene. I hear them whisper about the places that you've been and how you don't know how to keep your business clean.
Amazing. I love her so much. You know when you do a model and you see it wet and you think, oh, is it going to be strong? And then as soon as you dry that first bit and your heart goes, okay, we're good. We're good. You know that feeling in the salon. It's the worst. All right, we're going to bring out the next model. Our final model. Where is she? Here she is. Hello. Gorgeous. Alrighty, so let's have a little look through here. Okay, so again, this is all about impactful placement, doing less, creating high impact, and having a color that goes the longevity. That is what I'm about with my clients, creating colors that are bespoke to each person. Every time a client sits in your chair, it is down to you as the colorist to spend time getting to know them and identifying all the things they like and dislike. One thing that helps me with this is I ask my clients to come in with a mood board of all the things they like and all the things they dislike. So together we can visually see key things. Now, one client said to me once that she got frustrated trying to explain to me what she wanted. And that's because she's a lawyer. And for her job, it's all about communication. But in the salon, she couldn't communicate with me because she couldn't talk hairdresser. Has anyone ever experienced that with clients? You know, they get a bit frustrated. So this is where visual boards will come in handy in the salon. You can visually see things together and really talk about that tone. For example, something here that is a little bit darish. It's a little bit, you know, it's not your natural tone to have a little bit more of a pink feel. But something like this, if you said to a client, do you fancy being a little bit pinker? They'd maybe freak out. But if you show them visuals and look at that together and what pink looks like, then you can make them happy, right? So it's down to us to figure that out. As you can see with my model here, we have again left some depth underneath. If you turn around with me, babes. So all through the back, underneath, she's dark, okay? We don't need to do anything with that. She's got short hair. She's going to stay short. If she had long hair, again, we could take something through. But to have the impact, we need to have that depth in there. You can see from the root, it's gently shadowed and kept the lightness through to the ends, okay? Now, again, same thing with this placement on our model here. If you turn around for me, hun. With the placement, it's so delicate all around the back, but it has to be delicate and enough tone in there to make this work. If there was too much dark behind, then this could look a little bit too much, okay? So you need to think about having the right balance. Again, when it comes to toning, we were using the new pearls. I went in at the root first with the Dear Light 6. Anyone that's not familiar with Dear Light is all about acidic, it's an acidic toner. So it's about just depositing the color and the depth, but not taking the hair really, really dark. It's not going to affect the natural hair around it, which is crucial to this technique. If you're wanting a lived-in, low-maintenance look, you need to be working with that client's natural color in here. The 6 will then just softly blend, and then leaving us with the 982, which is 9 Mocha Violet, with a little bit of red booster. Again, thinking about the garden pea size of little bit of color in there. This, I believe, was 2 peas. The more that you put in, obviously, the stronger it will be. The less you put in, the softer it will be. So really playing around with that. One thing I would suggest as well is if you were going to try this, when you put your, let's say your 982 in the bowl, and then you put your red booster in the bowl, make sure you mix that together first before the peroxide. So that's going to help avoid any of the red being really heavy and concentrated inside that bowl. You do not want to experience that with a client. I've been there. It made a really big blob on the side of her hair. So not the look that we're going for. Again, this was the same face frame technique around the front. Really, 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 really soft through here. And again through the side. So if my client was to wear her hair back and up, there's so much softness in here and it wasn't shadowed down. Okay, so maintenance-wise, when it comes to clients coming back in, you can talk to them about coming back just for a face frame refresh and just maintaining that. Again, with how the world is at the moment in the UK, everyone's too scared of spending money. But they love coming to us because we make them feel good. So I think as the professional, we need to be approaching these conversations with our clients and talking to them about, you know, how they can mix up their hair, what options they have, how they can not come as often but still have the color that they want. All of these things is what's going to keep clients in your chair and coming back to you. All right? I'm going to leave this model just to walk in 1 second before she goes. I would just like to say thank you so, so much. Mercy to everyone. You have been wonderful, and I appreciate your good energy. Amazing. Thank you so much. And just one last thing before I go. Before I leave you all, I just want to say you've had 2 full days of education. And well done to all of you for being here and sitting here and coming and getting further education. Our industry is all about continuous education. Every time we put ourselves out of our comfort zone and push ourselves into things that are uncomfortable, it becomes our new skill set, okay? Me being here on this stage, you are my biggest audience. It's not comfortable, but it will help me grow as the educator I am. Same thing in the salon. With trying new techniques, give it a go, and you'll be amazing. Merci.
Pop your backs with it, drop with it, lean with it, rock with it, snap with it. All my ladies, pop your backs with it, drop with it, lean with it, rock
Are you ready to create your own path to shine?
Gracias. Este aplauso es para todo el equipo, todo el equipo. Todo el equipo.
I think he needs his microphone on.
Muchas gracias, gracias a todos. Sé que os ha encantado, habéis estado sin pestañear durante toda la masterclass. Quería agradecer a todo el super equipo que ha estado con Harriet Stokes preparando esta masterclass para todos vosotros. Gracias a todos. Gracias, Harriet. Gracias por estar aquí, gracias por darnos todo tu expertise. Te vamos a poder ver en la próxima formación que lanzamos, como habéis visto, Balayage Keys, y de verdad que ha sido todo un honor, todo un placer estar contigo en España trabajando para esta masterclass. Gracias.
Merci. Gracias. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and hopefully I'll see you again another time.
Ok, muchísimas
Merci.
gracias.
Mwah. You're amazing.